Last night during the full moon, extremely large full moon I saw in the sky. As I was leaving my house and getting into my car, I looked up in the moon, its roundedness, its color, and its shiny energy, and it was just above my city and very beautifully above the skyline, my town, my American city, and thought that instant I thought I should take a photo of that moon and send it to my manifested twin because he's on the other side of the planet, and exactly at the time when the moon rises in my state, it sets in his state. Exactly at the moment when the sun rises in my state, it sets in his state. So we always talk about that when the moon comes to me from him and vice versa. So at that moment, I was gonna take a photo of the moon for him because it's full and it's a Ramadan full moon, which means we are in the half of the Ramadan and slipping into the second half. When suddenly at that moment I hear a pop in my messenger. So basically it's daylight, the place where my twin is, because moon was here, it was already night, of course. It was not just a sunset, but the moon was already here for a couple of hours and it's just becoming bigger and higher in the sky. So over there was a midday, and what my manifested twin could see in the sky was obviously sunshine, right? So at that moment, when I'm looking at the moon and I'm wondering if I should take a photo of it, but I was carrying some stuff in my hands. I couldn't do it immediately. I was gonna put it down in my car and then take my camera and take a shot of the moon. My messenger pops and I open it, and it's a photo sent by my manifested twin. Photo of a beautiful moon above the ocean water. He lives in Indian subcontinent, so the water is above the ocean where he lives. That was not a current photo, of course. That was just a photo he sent of something that was visual in his mind at that second, at that given second. We didn't talk about moon uh, that day or that week, but I did look up at that second in the moon, and he sent me a photo of the moon, even though he's looking at the sun at that moment. So there was no reminder to him over there beside my thoughts and what I was seeing. So I'm just giving you that as example of how manifested twin um, reacts to you, whether that be your organic twin or someone who is manifested into your reality as your organic twin. For those who cannot grasp that, trust me, you will. They will come when you will. Everything comes on time. Like, this journey is interesting. When you watch our videos, sometimes if you're not in the same on the same page, there's a reason why people say, "Are we on the same page?" If you read a book and we're not on the same page, that does not mean people take that out of context, that saying that we're not on the same page, thinking that I'm right and you're wrong, we're not on the same page. No, it actually means exactly what it says. You're not on the same page when you read the book. And I've went over that part that you read, and I'm a little bit further ahead of someone, and I know what's going on in the plot. And you're not there yet. You're just reading the first or second chapter. I'm in the fifth chapter. And if we sit down and do a book club, and talk about that book. And I tell you stuff that's going on in the book, in the plot. Later on, you will be confused because you didn't get there yet. You're not on that page yet. Okay, so that's how this twin flame journey is. We all share on YouTube and we talk on the blogs, but sometimes it's not. People say I don't resonate with that teacher. I don't resonate with that light worker. The thing is, you do resonate with the person with the energy. Don't get confused. Usually you do, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be on their channel, you wouldn't be watching them or listening to them. But sometimes you don't get it because you're not there yet. Just keep going, and someday you will realize and remember what I was talking about. So anyways, manifested twin, the reunion, although not full yet, because still, basically still, well, how do I put this? I would say 5D, 4D, 6D reunion, not 3D yet because of the long distance. It's now long distance relationship, which is very hard to, which means that this twin flame journey is still on a purging, still going through the purging process. And what is the destination? For me, destination of twin flame journey, personally, is to reach home run, reach source, to finally reach source, which doesn't mean death, it means life. But for collective, what it means to me is once I am in the perfect union, our union, the energy of our union, everything that's included in that reunion, which is body, mind, and soul connection, which is physical magnetism that blows your mind away, mental magnetism that blows your mind away, and spiritual magnetism that blows your mind away. By saying that, I mean the strength of the energy produced between two twin souls, or basically saying reunited twin souls, which become one, is so powerful that, I mean, compare that to the solar energy or even nuclear energy, because this is a quantum energy that we're talking about. That energy can truly be used for healing. The power of prayer, the power of manifestation, the power of intention. We already are practicing that, me and my twin, at moments of high state of what we could call, let's just call it this way in this video, nirvana, because you have to study the word nirvana to remember it's not just a band from the 90s, but it's really important to know what nirvana. I like to refer to the state as nirvana because I always wondered. I knew what nirvana meant in theory as a meaning of the word, but now I'm finally experiencing that in the twin flame reunion, which is not, again, still full reunion because still the best is yet to come. But we already have a 4 and 5D communication that works like perfect reunion. And when I say 5D, I mean telepathy and this kind of physical astral projection thing that is so, it has become so powerful. When he astrally projects and when I astrally project, we are basically in the same room. We feel absolutely everything. So that's a 5D, 6D connection, is the heart and soul when we feel each other's feelings. And then I'd say 4D because, like, if we talk on the phone and share the thoughts, or, like this on the messages, I'd say that's a 4D because then 4D is excellent because we can confirm what we're feeling in the 5D. What I felt with my organic twin, what I felt with sacral chakra guy, and I would confirm with the organic twin not so much because he refused, not that he refused communication, but he was not cool about it, so I left him alone. I respected his, you know, freedom of choice not to be in a relationship, not to do this, blah, blah, blah. So I could not really never bugged him to confirm to me like, oh, okay, so you telepathically wanted to, did you do that? Did you? I did confirm that with Seiko Chakra guy, and so that made me believer, that this telepathy really is great. And now with manifested, wow, I mean, it's so awesome that we can talk on the phone and say, are you feeling that? Are you doing that? Are you thinking that? And the other person confirms and gives you a positive answer. So that's what I call it. That's a 4D communication. And of course 3D, it's become, well, because because astral projections are so strong, and feel almost like physical barriers were broken, and feels exactly like physical. If not better, of course better, because there's a 5D connection included, but the actual 3D connection has not happened yet. It's about to happen. So what I'm saying is, I wanted to tell you that if you're on your journey, the final destination collectively means to help others to heal. So we try that, me and my manifested twin, we try that to, at the moments of great nirvana, to wish upon the world peace, to wish certain areas, to wish them reconciliation and peace and good health. And now we're watching what happens. We can watch in 4D, let's say news media, and keep eyes open and see if that are Reiki, distant healing, does it really work? Because our energy is so powerful that it is something to share. Definitely, it's like if you hit um, sort of like if you hit a jackpot, and then you want to help all those people in your life that you couldn't help when you didn't have enough money, or just you have money to share, or if you hit the water spring, and then you are owner of the spring, you can just give that water, to the people passing by, because you have enough to share. That's how that energy of the reunion feels. And I cannot even imagine how powerful it's going to be when all the areas are connected, spiritual, mental, and physical at the same time. I mean, I can't even imagine. I have to prepare for that. That's why there's still some purging going on, which means, by purging I mean long distance tests, relationship tests, and issues. But we are working on it, and I'm working on it again. Just like from the beginning of the journey, sometimes you have to realize you have to work on things. When you work on things, your twin can feel it. So today I wanted to share, instead of um, talking directly to you and telling you what happened this week and so on, I will read to you an email exchange between me and one of my first one of my first subscribers on YouTube channel, who is a dear friend of mine now. And so what I shared with her, I will share with you now. And let me just say some parts of that conversation that I had with her. She's very interested in my journey personally, and so am I in hers, just like I am in everybody else's. So yeah, you can write to me on my channel's email, or leave a comment below. And so anyway, um, here's the part that I want to share with you. I tell her that I was interested to know more about him, as I'm talking about manifested twin here, of course. I was interested to know more about him, as he sounded like he sounded almost like he has heard my conversations with sacral chakra guy, who was the guy who was channeling my twin, as you all know. And I started talking to him, even though I never had Messenger installed before. So he then asked if I would allow him to give me his phone number, and I did, but I did not call him. He was more religious, as I prayed for my sacral chakra guy, or my twin to be, and he was more dedicated to faith as me. But he kept asking if I'm praying on time, if I'm eating well, and He was reading many of my mind dilemmas at the moment, and days after that, he was gonna go to pilgrimage, and I decided to call him, to wish him fair trip. But when we heard each other's voices, it was instantly manifested as twin flame connection. He reads my mind, and he's fully awakened, even though he never heard of twin flames. He says I am him and he is me. He can astrally project, and he can see me, and he can see my room, and I know details about his body before I knew details about his body before he sent me photo of his, of his entire, um, you know, self. We merge in 5D, and he breathes my breath, even though locations are way off. Most of all, dedication to Allah, the source of love, is something so overwhelming when it comes to my manifested twin. He's exactly the person that channeler of my organic twin has promised and described to me. Allah is great. God is great. Now, she answers to me and she says, "Oh, I'm very happy to hear that, my dear. Oh, I wish I could travel with you, but my 3D responsibilities stop me. Thank you for inviting me and trusting me. So tell me exactly how you met him, what does he do, and I'm excited for you." So there's another part now that I answered to her that I also want to share with you to give you an insight of how this manifested twin worked. So here it is. Uh, I'm telling her, she told me something about her twin flame, and so here's my answer. I said to her, your twin flame will come around, or transformation will take over divine feelings, so that your unconditional love between two twins will transform into higher form, like it is happening to me. Um, People do not realize that weeks before, I too would have freaked out if someone had told me my reunion is to be without my organic twin's physical body. But after my transcendentation occurred and shift took a momentum, I became happy to have my organic twin in state of freedom. Let him pursue his life mission as he wishes, while I get to do the reunion, which contains his essence within, thus enabling me to use magnetic power of love that emanates from our merges, to use it for healing purposes and for manifestations of peace and health to earth. By not insisting on a physical exact body of my organic twin, I'm actually executing the unconditional love to both my twin and the planet as well. In the end, if we insist on a specific body, or meaning the person, even though that is our organic twin, then we are reversing the death of our ego and bringing it back to life. By surrendering to this new script the universe has downloaded for me, I'm actually closer to my organic twin, more than I could ever be close to him in 3D. Is no longer separated from me. People who watch my videos may assume that I have given up on my twin, not realizing that he has returned to me fully. He became inseparable within me before the manifested twin awoke inside the second body. My organic twin is in this reunion with me, and his body is just an illusion, anyways. Your journey will take you back to home in the source, and many are forgetting that that is the ultimate goal of this whole idea after all. Peace be upon you all. Salam alaikum and happy Ramadan.